Guys, you know me, I do not impress easily, but today's sponsor actually shocked me. It's a brand new shaving company called House of Atlas, and they sent me their razor. Listen, I will rock the stubble, but I prefer to be clean shaven. And this razor is the best razor I've ever had in my life. It's got a weighted handle that feels like it was engineered for a champion, not some weightless garbage. And the precision trim edge, it cleaned up my sideburns and right under the nose, almost like I had a personal barber in the room. I used the shave cream, I finished with their aftershave, and I'm telling you, my skin feels smooth and refreshed, almost like I'm ready for success. This isn't grooming. I want you to think of this as self-care with swagger. And here's the kicker. House of Atlas is now in Target stores nationwide. That's right. Next time you're at Target, you're maybe grabbing some paper towels. Pick up a razor that's worth your time. I'm telling you, you can finally stop wasting your money on junk that doesn't perform. Grab House of Atlas next time you're at Target. Or right from home, just go to Target.com. Start shaving like you mean it. All right, if I tell you something right now, do you promise you'll believe me? Because you're not going to believe this. Do you promise you'll believe me? Whatever I say. Scouts honor. Joshua Van is the champion of the world. Joshua Van holds the same championship that George St. Pierre had, that Khabib Nurmagomedov had. Joshua is the champion of the same organization that Royce Gracie once was. Same organization that Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, John Jones. Are you ready for that? How cool is that? How cool is that? I'm not sure Van was the better fighter, though. I'm giving him his full credit. I'm not sure he's the better fighter. This is what dreams are made of. It doesn't really matter who the better fighter is. It only matters who won. It's the only thing that matters. And Van, by the way, handled himself. Like, this young man's mother has to be very proud right now. He got put in a colossally difficult situation of going through with procedure. Okay, procedure says you stand right here. Procedure says they put the belt on you. Procedure says you allow them to read your name, raise your hand, the audience to respond. You live with that response no matter what. This is what procedure says. So even if he doesn't want to be in that moment, even if this is the one thing that he didn't visualize, one thing that wasn't the dream of a little boy, it's still the spot he's in, and he handled it very, very well. He really did. I was annoyed with people that tried to take away from him. I just was. I don't know that I understand it. Did the training camp, made the walk. Was an underdog. Everyone said he was an underdog. How would you do in that kind of a situation? Would you go get in a cage and fight a man? Would you go get in a cage and fight a man that the whole world said you can't beat? It's a very interesting spot, because he did. And when the referee said go, he did. Came right at him. And where do they go from here? Probably the most compelling part of the story is where do they go from here, which would appear to be back to Pantoja. I don't disagree that's the right way to do it, but there was a statement made as though obviously that's what we're going to do. And I want Pantoja to get well soon. I'm just saying that I don't know how long he's out. The idea that we would hold up a division, I'm not suggesting that Pantoja has to go and do some contenders fights. I'm not suggesting that. But I will be devil's advocate to the conversation. What do you mean it's just obvious that Pantoja is going to get the fight? Pantoja was, how far back do you want to play this game? Pantoja was in the Ultimate Fighter and did not win. So when we get a result tonight that we don't like, so then we're going to attempt to remedy it by doing a rematch. Well, how do you think the guy that beat Pantoja in the Ultimate Fighter is feeling? Or the guy that went on and won the Ultimate Fighter, just for example. And look, that was a tough spot. There was a weird part of the night where they went off air telling us, or explaining rather, Pantoja's injury as a shoulder. Was it dislocated? They were trying to correct the discrepancy between like a dislocated and broken. I'm close. I'm attempting to prove a point here, but it was with the shoulder, and even Joe Rogan goes, "Hey, I watched this happen. It's with his elbow." So whatever you're telling us, the correction between broken or dislocated, if you don't even have the body part right, then I can't accept that you've got the diagnosis right. And so I just share with you, get better, Pantoja. But it is the point. If Pantoja could have broken or dislocated Joshua's arm, he would have done it. Be very encouraged to do it within the rules. Many would call that jiu-jitsu. So I don't know that I agree with the concept that it would take away from Van. Like here, but my bigger argument is I don't know that you believe that. Like if you find yourself being somebody that is taking away from Van, I don't know that you believe that. Now, how would I counter what you believe? Well, because if it happened 24 minutes in, I don't think you'd be saying anything. If the exact same thing happened 24 minutes in, I don't think you'd say anything. The exact same thing happened 9 minutes in, I don't think you'd say anything. In fact, that kind of sounds a lot like what happened when Chris Weidman won his championship over Anderson. And there was reason to rematch it, but there was nothing taken away from Weidman. And I get where that's a tough argument. I get where this isn't the kind of fight that you would have thought of, but you had resolution. We have an outcome. It was very clear and decisive. There was no controversy on it whatsoever. There's nobody that saw that happen and thought this should be handled in a different way aside from stopping the contest and awarding it to Van. So think about it from that perspective, maybe a little bit. Go ahead and be a hater. That's part of being a fan. Joshua Van's the world champion.